Alright, so I've scrambled my cube now, and so now the first step we have to do is set the centers. And basically what that means is we're going to place these four centerpieces so they're the same color, so a 4x2 block, and they're in the right orientation to all the other centers. So I like to solve white first, and so to do that you're going to want to make a white 2x1 block. And so you can look around and see if there are any already, but if there aren't, they're very easy to make. All you got to do is find two pieces like these two, this one and this one. And now you want them to be in the same position. So this one, if you want it to be here, you have to put it in this position on that face. So you can see when I bring that down, it matches up with this to form a 2x1 bar. But if I put it right here, then when I brought it down, it would be diagonal, and we don't want that. So you want to make your first 2x1 bar like this, and so just bring it down and connect it. And now you want to just make another one, and you only have to make two per center. So I've found another white centerpiece here, and here's the other one. And so we want to move them into the correct place. So as you can see, these two are ready to be matched up. So just connect them like that and form that bar. And now we can move this down like that, and now we've solved the white center. So after you solve white, it's always a good idea to solve for yellow, and that'll just make setting all the other centers easier. So we're going to do the same thing. So here I have two yellow centerpieces that I can connect together like that. Okay? So now see right now, if I solved it right here, they'd be adjacent, but that's wrong. So we want to move this bar up, so now the white face and the yellow face are going to be opposite. And now you have to bring this back down and reconnect it to this. But you can't right now because you'd bring this with it. So what you want to do is twist the yellow face 180 degrees. And now when you bring this white bar back down, you didn't disturb this one. So now we just want to make another yellow 2x1 bar. So here are the two pieces I can match up. So just match them up like that. And now this part is a little different. What you want to do is see if I brought this into this empty space right here, there would be no way for me to resolve my white center without messing up the yellow. See? So what you want to do is you want to put both yellow 2x1 bars in the same layer. And so what that does is when you bring this up like that, and then now you twist the U face 180 degrees, and now you see when you bring this back down to resolve the white, it brings the yellow bar that you knocked out earlier back into place. And now you've solved both the layers, or both the centers. And so in case you didn't get that, you want them to be in the same layer like this, and then bring the 2x1 bar up, and now twist the U face 180 degrees. Jesus. Like that, and bring it back down. Okay. So now we have to solve these four centers: red, blue, orange, and green. And I typically solve for red first, so I know that I put all my other pieces in the right orientation. So it doesn't matter where you solve it, just as long as you solve the other ones in the correct place. So here I have a 2x1 red bar, and so I can use that. And so now I'm going to make another 2x1 red bar. So here I have one red piece, here I have another one. And so move them into the right orientation, just like that. And so now when I bring this down, they form a 2x1 bar. And now I just want to connect this with the other red 2x1 bar to form the red center. And now I'm going to do green, and remember that red, white, and blue, now I'm going to do blue, sorry. And remember that red, white, and blue have to be in a clockwise orientation. So, let's see, here we have a blue 2x1 bar. So let's move this into place, which is adjacent to red, like that. And now we want to twist the blue side again 180 degrees so that we can bring this red bar back and leave this one in its right place, like that. And now we just have to make the other red 2x1 bar, and other blue 2x1 bar. And if you're stuck like this where they're diagonal, that's easy to fix so you can get them in the right place. You just have to bring one of them up and then twist it out of the way, and then of course bring this back down, just like that. And so now they're on opposite faces. So we're going to put them in the right orientation to be connected. Then just move it out of the way and resolve the centers. And when I say resolve the centers, you just want to undo the move you did before. So, for example, I made an inner RI turn. So to counter that, after I move this out of the way, I want to make an inner R turn. Okay, and so the same thing we did before with the yellow and white faces, here we're going to need to do the same thing, because you see, again, if I brought this 2x1 bar into the empty space, then I wouldn't be able to resolve the red center. See? So, again, you want to make it so they're in the same layer, like this, and then knock one of them out, twist the U face 180, and bring this back. And now you see that we've solved 4 of the centers, and red, white, and blue are in the correct orientation. So this next part is the hardest part of solving the centers, and that is solving the last 2. It's not that hard on a 4, but once you get into bigger cubes, it will be probably more of a challenge. So what you want to do is make one 2x1 bar, and I'm going to make a green one because, I'm going to make an orange one because I know orange goes here, because orange has to be opposite red, so it'd be right here. So I'm going to connect these two to make a 2x1 bar, like that, and then bring it out of the way, and then reverse the turn I did before, like that. And so you can check and make sure all your centers are still intact. And now you should have what looks like this, which is like an L shape. And you might have another 2x1 bar on this, and in which case you can just match it up. But if you have an L like this, what you want to do is you just want to place this corner center. And so to do that, it's kind of like placing corners on a 3x3, and so you want to put them in the same place. So for example, here both of the corners are, or both of the pieces that I want to connect are in the top left. And so now to connect them, bring the single one up like that, and then turn it away so that when you bring this piece back up, it connects with this, like that. And now you have two 2x1 bars, so you can just connect them like we did before by knocking one out, twisting the U face 180, and then bringing it back. And by solving one of the centers, you automatically solve the other one, so you don't need to worry about the last center. And now, before moving on, you just want to make sure that all of your center pieces are in the correct orientation. So I've got red, white, and blue in a clockwise orientation. I've got yellow, opposite white, red, opposite orange, and green, or blue, opposite green. And if your cube looks like this, then you can move on to the next step. And if you're unsure of how your center should look, just consult a 3x3. See, as you can see here, it's the same thing. Red, white, and blue in a clockwise orientation. And so we can just compare this cube to our 3x3, and just the center pieces, they look the same. See, the same all around. So if you're still unsure about how your centers should look when they're solved, just consult your trusty 3x3.